The closest race in Elko Speedway history. 10-time track champion Jeff Martin had closed the gap to 1 point between himself and point leader Mike Tuma. Too close to call? 4 divisions, 4 track champions. Who claim the top honors for 1995? Stick around and you'll find out on the Valvoline Elko Race Report.
Lots of busy activity in the motor pits prior to the final night of regular season points at Elko Speedway. Hello race fans, Wally Shaver and Ted Austad with you today as we go into championship night for Elko Speedway in the 1995 racing season. And Ted, best part of it all, as we talked about last week, 4 divisions race out there, 3 of them still had titles to be decided.
Yeah, you could feel the tension in the air as I walked into the motor pit Saturday night. The drivers were all anticipating a big crowd, and a big crowd was on hand at Elko Speedway for the championships. But there were certain drivers that had a little bit more tension than the others.
Going into last Saturday's championship night, the closest title race in Elko's 30-year track history was up for grabs in the late model division. Only 1 point separated leader Mike Tuma from longtime rival Jeff Martin. Tuma has never won the track championship, while Martin is a 10-time winner, his last coming in 1990. These 2 veterans were quite at ease despite the nervous tension and even found some time to exchange gifts.
Here you can see Mike Tuma. He bought Jeffy Martin a couple of round-trip airfare tickets to Hawaii. Only thing is, they left Saturday morning.
When we return, we'll take a look at the late model championship.
Apple Valley Ford proudly presents the 5th annual Minnesota Fall Festival of Speed at Elko Speedway. Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, September 15, 16, and 17. 3 solid days of racing. Action-packed divisions. And the Midwest top drivers battling it out for $32,000 in prize money. Culminating with the crown jewel, the Apple Valley Ford NASCAR 200. Don't miss the Minnesota Fall Festival of Speed, September 15th through the 17th at Elko Speedway. Brought to you by Apple Valley Ford.
It's absolutely amazing that after an entire summer of racing, the track championship could boil down to 1 slim point. And folks, that was the case in the Mack Tools late model division. Points are awarded in the time trials, and for the umpteenth time, Jeff Martin posted the fastest time. Mike Tuma was 5th fastest and consequently fell into 2nd place and now trailed Martin by 3 points. Heat race action increased Martin's lead to 4 points as he crossed the line a mere half-car length ahead of Tuma in a race that brought the place out of their seats. Heat 2 had another close call as Brian Johnson won by a bumper over Mel Wallen, and in the last chance qualifier, Tim Stanley earned the win.
Probably the hardest part for both Tuma and Martin was the wait before the special 50-lap feature. Making a list and checking it twice is not reserved just for Santa. Calming the nerves was aided by last-minute tinkering and changing rubber for the heavyweight title of Elko Speedway. As the nervous tension built, it was now race time. As fate would have it, the 23-car starting grid found Tuma and Martin lined up next to one another in the 4th row. Green flag and they're racing. Mike Tuma in the DC Mechanical White number 82 Chevrolet and Jeff Martin in the Richard Larson Home Builders dark blue number 7 Ford Thunderbird powered around door to door for a couple of laps until Martin pulled ahead on the outside. Martin began his climb to the front in a lane he knows very well, the outer groove. Not to be outdone, Tuma jumped outside and caught Martin's draft as they cruised around the 3/8 mile oval. Here, both cars moved past the 18 ride of defending track champion Brian Johnson. Brian had mathematically fallen out of the title chase just last weekend after leading for the first half of the year, going for the 3-peat. Johnson, a heavy equipment mechanic, finished 4th in this race and 3rd overall in the season.
The Rookie of the Year battle was also on the line in this race, and the two contenders found themselves spun out at the same time, but in separate incidents down in the turn 4 infield. Paul Payne in the Frost Paint number 27 ride trailed the orange number 13 MGM Liquor Warehouse car of Randy Wabel by 32 points, entering the evening's competition. Mark Nessheim in car number 79 lined up alongside Steve Murgic for the restart, with Jeff Martin in the second row and Mike Tuma in the third row. A small gap opened in front of the 11 Hooters car of Jason Schneider, allowing Martin a chance to dart down low and up alongside Murgic. 3 circuits later, Martin was challenging Nessheim for the lead. In front of another large throng of devoted race fans, Jeff Martin swept past Mark Nessheim to the lead.
Mike Tuma kept his foot into it and plowed ahead. He drove up on the outside of Nessheim and put the pass on as they cruised past the grandstand. It was now Martin first and Tuma second. Only a crash or a spin would keep Martin from the championship. As you can see here, the race was winding down and Martin had a sizable lead and proved to be almost uncatchable the rest of the way. Mike Tuma was the first to be at the Mac Tools garage, and he pretty well summed up his emotional ride to the wire.
Didn't matter.
You got second, right? Huh? You got second, right?
Second.
Ted Austad found a relief, Jeff Martin standing by his pit slab.
Well, the closest race in Elko Speedway history comes down to the final night. Jeff Martin came into the night chasing down Mike Tuma, comes out the champion. 11-time track champion, Jeff. What's it take to be 30% of the time you come home a track champion?
I don't know, a lot of good luck and a good crew and great sponsors, and mostly good luck though.
Who are the sponsors that are helping you out throughout the year?
There's Richard Larson Builders, Lakeville Machine, Bob Enfield's Detail, Dave Wallstead's Egan Amico, Dino's Bar, of course, and Southport Auto Body.
Well, now it looked like the plan was to get to the front as soon as possible and have Mike chasing you down. Is that what the plan was?
Yeah, I just wanted to get out of there because I didn't want him nowhere by me, and I lucked out and I weaved my way through there and got in the lead, and I never looked back.
Well, you ended this drought that you had, a 5-year drought from track championships. What's the plan for 96? What can we look forward to?
Well, hopefully we'll get a couple in a row, but I don't know what will happen when we get to number 13. That might be kind of tough.
An unprecedented 11 championships for Jeff Martin.
Legend Car Racing is here. For information on our Legend Car Racing School and series race dates, call now.
They're 5A scale replicas of 37 and 40 Chevys and Fords. They have motorcycle motors, and they're all identical race cars. They're built affordable so that anyone can buy a race car and go racing and have fun without spending a lot of money.
Don't wait. Call now for information on race dates and our Legend Car Racing School at Elko Speedway.
The drama of the championship title run in the Gens-Ryan Sportsman division was absent last Saturday night. Steve Anderson had already locked up the season title 1 week earlier. Well, what did he do? He went around the pits chatting with some drivers. Like here he is talking with Conrad Jorgenson, possibly passing along some last-minute advice for Jorgie's championship hunt in the Thundercars. The Sportsman heat races were the first of 20 races last Saturday night. In the opener, Rod Host roared home the winner in his Thunderbird. Race 2 had Jeff McClintock lead a closely knit pack of 7 cars to the line, only to lose the trophy because his car was sitting too low. And in the last Gens-Ryan heat race, dairy farmer Steve Croyer made a late race surge to beat Mike Skaya.
On to the feature race. Kent Eastwick has been a solid performer all season long in the division. Kent can usually be found driving his Navarro Amico-sponsored Chevrolet to a finish in the top 10. That kind of consistency has kept Eastwick amongst the division's elite all season long. Starting from the pole, the blue number 80 Sportsman quickly found himself enjoying a 6-car length lead. Donnie Bryett in the green car and Steve Anderson in the red 17 ride swapped paint while leaving turn 4. As Bryett fought for control, Anderson bolted into second place. See ya! Steve Croyer was next. Soon, Eastlick's D&H Auto Body lead was dwindling as Anderson and Croyer charged around in a classic side-by-side conflict. No one was willing to give, but Anderson found the traction favorable on the outside and slowly inched ahead of Croyer's Black 98 machine to draw up alongside of Eastlick.
Now look who's peeking his nose in there. One of the hottest drivers in the last half of the season has been the DRS Home Remodelers car of Rob Host. Is easy to spot. It's the glow-in-the-dark number 9 Ford Thunderbird. Rob found himself looking inside of Croyer's car, and suddenly we had a 4-car hunt for the lead. Hold on here. Flagman Kenny Wallstead was prompted to flutter his yellow caution flag as Billy Larson spun his orange number 1 ride in turn 4. That was promptly smacked by Bullet Bob Barfnick as he was like a sitting duck in the middle of the track. This necessitated a realignment to the race. Just prior to the caution, Steve Anderson had taken the lead from Eastlick, but now Kent eked out a half-car length lead over Anderson. Host and Croyer kept stride with the front runners. Things gummed up fast. Host found a hole as Anderson's tires heated up and smoothly settled into second place. Exiting turn 4, Rob moved to the outside and rode shotgun with Eastlick. Another late entry in the sprint to the finish was the white caddy of number 32, Jeff Partington. Jeff is finishing the year on a real solid note, having a streak of 7 straight top 10 finishes.
Down the back chute, Host launched himself to the lead, blowing past Eastlick and opening a comfortable lead in the final 3 laps. Ken Eastlick had a well-deserved second-place finish, and Jeff Partington a hard-earned third. A lot of smiling faces greeted Ted Austad as he caught up with the championship man, Steve Anderson.
Well, the Sportsman division was wrapped up coming into tonight, but Steve Anderson, this is number 2 for you. Is it any sweeter with the second time around?
I don't know. It's been a great year for us, and we came out on top, and we always go for the championship. That's what we start out the year thinking. So, yeah, it's been great. Feels great.
I'll tell you, this Anderson truck line number 17 has been fast all year, and I think that's helped thanks to your crew chief, Stu. Stu, what makes this car go so fast? What do you do differently that these other guys haven't been able to figure out?
We work hard on it every week. You constantly got to be on top of everything and checking everything out, and that's what makes the difference.
Well, a great team and a great crew. You got to have some people out there that you want to thank.
Yeah, I got to thank my wife first, because if it wasn't for her, she wouldn't let me, she wouldn't let me be here, and we wouldn't be here now. But I got a great crew. Scott Nelson, Disco we call him, and Mikey, and Pete Stevens, and Jason Miles. I mean, all them guys are great guys, including Stu. They're all there for me every week. I couldn't do it without them, without question.
Well, the party has begun 2 times for Steve Anderson.
Only 8 points separated Shorewood's Conrad Jorgenson from division leader Keith Johnson of Dundas, Minnesota. It was all on the line, and the heat race results for the Thundercars would be just as important as the feature races. These 2 title contenders ran in separate heat races. In race 3, Mary Twining stayed ahead of Johnson to win by a car length. And in the 4th heat, Conrad Jorgenson broke away with Kurt Mosier and claimed the win, gaining 2 points on Johnson. In other heat action, Marv Vincent opened a sizable lead to post his first win of the year, and Stephanie Wascott won by a tire over Larry Fitzsimmons. In the second of the 2 Thundercar feature races, Conrad Jorgenson and Keith Johnson had a chance to face off against one another to decide the division championship. The advantage was definitely in Johnson's favor. He had a starting spot near the front of the 17-car pack, while Jorgenson had to work up from the rear of the field.
Heat race winners Stephanie Wascott and marvelous Marv Vincent swapped the lead on several occasions as this race unfolded. Vincent began a slide back as the red number 30 car of Bob White moved into contention. Bob tried moving outside of the lady veteran but couldn't find a path past Stephanie. White was showing strength on the straights, but Wascott drew a perfect line through the turns. Keith Johnson found himself in a daring 3-wide tussle in turn 2, Then 1 lap later, Johnson bumped the back end of number 7, J.D. Hansen, and suddenly both cars went for a spin in turn 1. While Johnson was trying to collect himself, the black number 3 first chiropractic car of Conrad Jorgenson sped past. An amazing turn of events. Jorgenson kept driving hard towards the front, using the same style that has vaulted him into the title picture. The race ended with Jason Ostley working the outside lane to move up on Stephanie Wasgott, barely beating her at the checkers. Jorgenson kept his foot to the floor and edged out Bob White for the 3rd place finish. Keith Johnson finished way back in 14th due to his mid-race spin, an unfortunate event that cost him the division championship.
Excellent start to the other Tires Plus Thundercar race. Side by side, the top 4 cars drove for several laps until the 90 ride of Mary Twining pulled to the lead using her inside lane. Shannon Erickson, Larry Fitzsimmons, and Joe Pruzak all kept in contention. Pruzak's number 66 car started overheating, and he decided to pull off to save his engine. That brought the 62 car, Kurt Mosier, and the 82 ride of Dwayne Hoffman into the picture. These two had a super struggle going until a front straight collision sent Mosier flying into the infield, stopping close to the ambulance. Everyone was okay, no need for a hospital run. Twining lost her lead moments later when she went for a spin on the backside of the track. Larry Fitzsimmons took over the pole and cruised home to post his best finish of the year. Conrad Jorgenson knew he had a horseshoe with him, and he discusses his title hunt with Ted Austad.
Well, probably one of the best finishes was in the Tires Plus Thundercar division. Some tough luck for Keith Johnson, but Conrad Jorgenson is the benefactor of that problem. You were chasing him down all season long, came down to the last night. A little trouble there for Mr. Johnson, and you come home the champion.
Yeah, well, Keith had some bad luck, and he's driven good all season. It was a tough deal going around him like that, but that championship it means a lot to me, and it would have been fun beating him 3 cars, 4 cars ahead of him like I needed to, but we'll have to take this.
Well, you got kind of stuck there in traffic. I was kind of wondering if you were going to be able to get loose. What was going through your mind at that time?
The whole deal in traffic is it was really frustrating out there. You can't get around the people, but I remember my brother told me before I went out, he goes, just go out there and drive your butt off and see what happens.
You got a fast car here. I know you helped Keith work on his car all season long, but who you got helping you out as sponsors on this fast team?
Well, this car, I got to thank Scott Lefevre for putting together the whole team with First Chiropractic and Master Electric, Metalcraft, and Minneapolis Financial. And I also got Dino's Bar, which is going to be rocking tonight, I think.
Well, congratulations to Conrad Jorgenson. Definitely fun to watch all season long.
Apple Valley Ford proudly presents the 5th annual Minnesota Fall Festival of Speed at Elko Speedway. Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, September 15, 16, and 17. 3 solid days of racing. Action-packed divisions. And the Midwest top drivers battling it out for $32,000 in prize money. Culminating with the crown jewel, the Apple Valley Ford NASCAR 200. Don't miss the Minnesota Fall Festival of Speed, September 15th through the 17th at Elko Speedway. Brought to you by Apple Valley Ford.
Well, the final division to crown a champion for 1995 is the Bob 100 Bombers. You may remember at the beginning of the year, I predicted John Helendrung to be the champion. Well, Helendrung led the Bomber point standings until mid-June when he had a streak of bad luck. That is when a very consistent John Schmitz entered the picture and stole away the point lead. Schmitz led the title chase until just a few weeks ago when Helendrung took it back from him. Going into last weekend's Bomber A, Helendrung held a slim but very respectable 11-point lead. The white number 17 sitting on the pole is John Schmitz. In order for him to be the champion, he would need to win, and Helendrung would need to finish in 11th. Schmidt did his job and grabbed the lead on the second circuit. Now he needed some help from his fellow Bomber drivers to push Helendrung back to 11th.
Schmitz continued to lead the field around. His mirror was full with number 60 Grant Wascott and his John Paul's auto-sponsored Chevrolet. Wascott had worked past number 20 Mike Chatterton to occupy the number 2 spot, while Schmitz held the point. The top 3 remained as close as they could by chasing each other around nose to tail. It was not long before number 32, John Helendrung, moved into the number 3 spot. Schmitz needed some help, but there was none in sight as the top 5 cars, including Helendrung, pull away from the rest of the cars.
Schmitz crossed the line first and took the feature victory for the first time all season, but he fell short of the title as Helendrung finished in 5th. Wasgott, Chatterton, and Dave Noggle were the cars between the title chasers. Helendrung won the season title with Schmitz finishing in 2nd. The Bob 100 Bomber Bees were not chasing titles, but they were chasing respect. Everyone wants to win, and that is what the split-up Bomber division is designed to do. Let more drivers have an opportunity to win a race.
Car number 86, Joe Benzik, is the early race leader for the 2nd division of entry-level racing. Benzik had his hands full as number 29, Chris Scholstad, jumps outside of number 91, Sean Doherty. Others on the move included number 73, Keith Barta, and 68, Jay Salmon. Barta worked past Doherty and Scholstad when they became loose in the turns. Next on Barta's list was number 86, Benzik. Barta's able to move past Benzik down the front straightaway, and he never looked back, posting the victory. Jay Salmon passed Benzik to give us the final rundown of Barta, Salmon, Benzik, Dan Skaya, and Sean Doherty. A great finish for a wild season in the Bomber Bees. 86 Bomber Division drivers took a green flag this season. John Helendrung was the king of the Bombers. Ted Austad had a chance to talk with the new king of the Bombers, John Helendrung.
Well, an exciting year in the Bob 100 Bombers, and I predicted it at the beginning of the season, and it came true for you. John Helendrung comes home, the 1995 track champion in the Bombers. John, it started out a little different tonight. You were chasing down John Schmitz. You knew that you had to get within 5 positions with him. He started on the pole. What was going through your mind when the race got underway?
Well, basically, there was 2 or 3 cars in the second groove that I was somewhat worried about getting in front of me. Basically, if you stay in the first groove, you can get by that line of cars, but as I said, a few of them are a little faster than others. So once we got by those and I got by Roger Meyer, I had 3 cars between us, just a matter of staying in the low groove and hanging on.
Looked like you just kind of took it easy there. You were happy in that position?
Well, 5, 6 laps to go. I thought I could try to pass one more, but if something goes wrong or, it isn't worth losing the whole season for 1 or 2 positions, I knew I wasn't going to win the race, so settle for 5th and take the championship.
What's the plan now for 1996?
1996 is a family year. We're going to take a year off of racing and maybe come back in 97, but it's a lot of Saturdays, a lot of time in racing, so try something a little different next year, be in the family business.
Well, congratulations to number 32, John Hell on Wheels Helendrung, your 1995 Bob 100 Bomber champion. Well, race fans, a big weekend of racing to conclude the 1995 season at Elko Speedway this weekend. The Apple Valley Ford 200 NASCAR Northern Series event. Paul Payne will lead this contingent of drivers into this weekend's racing action. And, of course, the big 200 lapper on Sunday afternoon, but that's just the topper of the whole weekend, Wally.
It is. Friday night, Ted, we're going to get things going at 8 o'clock for the starting time of that racing. 7:30 starting time on Saturday night, and then Sunday afternoon at 2 o'clock. It'll be a dandy and a great way to conclude the season at Elko. We'll see you at the races. 10-time track champion coming into the night, 11 times going out. How's it feel?
Feels really good. I'm just worried about number 13.
Oh, yeah. Supposed to wait till the end, he said.
Do you want a towel? Oh, no, I'm sorry. I was telling you the wrong.
That's all right, Judy. You can call me Wally all you want.
Join Fishing the West every week.